dash cam captures a frightening crash on a Los Angeles highway.
These accidents keep happening and you can't tell when or where they will occur. Tires falling off of vehicles can become missiles and leave a path of devastation, even death.
Runaway tires have even hit homes. 2 tires get loose, smashing into the side of a car, and the second hits the roof as the driver barely escapes.
Glass pieces scattered across the front seats of this car. Its windshield shattered after a tire got loose on a very busy New Jersey highway early this morning.
That looks like more than a tire could do that.
The driver survived.
I couldn't imagine a tire could do that, but wow, that's something.
There's very little that the driver can do. When a projectile like that, a loose piece of debris on the highway comes into your windshield, there's not much that any occupant can do other than make sure that they're wearing their seatbelts.
It looks like the lug nuts just fell off. At least 2, possibly 3 have been off for a while.
The truck kept driving on just its rim while the tire bounced up the median and smashed right into the windshield of the waiting patrol car.
Watch as this construction van loses control when a tire falls off, hurling off the highway to cars below.
Fatalities are up, crashes are up.
A tire flies through a van's windshield, killing 2 people inside.
52-year-old Carol Hardy was killed instantly.
What was that? Yeah, we are going down the road with a camper and somebody just ran into us and just kept driving. Wow, I like smell burning right now.
It's like a tire or something.
I have no idea where we are right now.
So we're in the backwoods of Ohio. And we are going down this road, in the back roads, trying to get to, I forget what it's called, but it's kind of like an Airbnb for campers where a private individual will host. And we're going down this road and all of a sudden we get like whipped by, I don't know if it was like it smells like a burnt tire, and it like whipped across our camper or our truck. I don't know which one it was. He was over the line a little bit and just whipped us with something. I'm gonna get out of the road here. Hopefully tomorrow I don't find something catastrophically damaged. I mean, I know for a fact the Lord is with us because everybody's okay. It could have been way worse. Nothing seems to be damaged. I'm gonna take a look around with the flashlight and see if there's any damage. I'm expecting there to just be this big hole or like this black tire mark is what I'm expecting. I also got this alert on my truck. It says check camper wires. I checked the back where it's connected to my hitch and everything. There's nothing. Everything seems to be good back here. Check trailer wire. I mean, I'm super glad that that's all it was. I'm pretty sure that's what it is right here. I know this video seems kind of dramatic, but this is actually a bigger deal than most people realize. We didn't think that this was a big issue up until recently, when we've been spending more time on the road than we ever have, and seeing all the tires on the side of the road, experiencing a gouge in our sidewall of our tire, having a tire fly completely off somebody's vehicle and into ours, seeing so many blowouts while we're on the road. It made us take a closer look into this subject. Now, I'll be honest, not too long ago, I was the kind of guy that didn't really think to look for things like, are my lug nuts torqued down? Do my tires have the correct amount of air in them? I thought basically, if there's air in the tires, you're good to go.
Do you have a crescent Allen?
But there's more to it than that.
I'd like to say that it's because we've been on the road more, but honestly, this was like our first trip outside of Michigan. And if you look at some of the videos, some of them were just going to work. Some of them were actually just in their house and a tire just went through the door. So you really just don't know when it's going to happen. And that's why it's our responsibility as vehicle owners to make sure that this doesn't happen to anyone.
And a lot of people say, you know, I got a guy at the tire shop that makes sure all those things are working properly, so I don't have to do that.
Not my job, not my problem.
But here's the thing. Statistics show that actually the majority of the time that this is happening, it's within 1 week of getting your vehicle serviced. So the majority of the time, it's because the people in the shop are not properly torquing them to the right specifications. A lot of times they're using an impact drill, which can actually stretch the wheel studs, and that can cause them to break over time. That's why they recommend that anyone who's trying to put lug nuts on, that they use a torque wrench.
But how come race car drivers use those? and not torque wrenches.
Actually, here's a fun fact. Racers change their wheel studs and lug nuts or lug bolts like once every 1 or 2 years. So you either have wheel studs and lug nuts or lug bolts.
But you get the job done faster. If I've learned anything, it's if the job gets done fast, it's gotten done right.
Ooh, I don't think so.
You know, that old saying that we learned as a kid, fast and unstable wins the race?
Oh, nope. It's not that.
So, you know, when you get your tires regularly rotated and you get serviced for any kind of work regarding the tires, go back and check the work. Torque them down. Make sure they're at the right foot-pounds that your manufacturer recommends.
Within a week, because that's how fast it can happen. Here's another tip. When you get your wheels serviced, you get them taken off, have them check those wheel studs or lug bolts, whatever one you have, while the wheels are off, because it's so much easier, cheaper, and safer to just get them done before they break off. If they get sheared off, you're paying probably 3 or 4 times the price, and your tire came off and potentially hit somebody else. So might as well just have them checked periodically. If they're showing any signs of like rust or stretching, you know, they for the most part know what to look for. If you have a jack that can lift your car up, you can take your tires off yourself and check them and change them. They're really cheap, really easy.
And so this really applies to everybody, especially in our day and age. You have really the people more in our generation or younger that live a fast-paced life and they don't really think about these things. This is just something that gets in the way of their normal life, and when I have somebody else do it, I don't got to worry about that. But that's the kind of situation that puts people's lives in danger because they're not taking the responsibility upon themselves to go back and make sure that the job was done properly.
Right. Don't just trust everyone.
If there's anything that we've learned,
yeah,
you cannot trust everybody.
Yeah, especially the dealers and the
Yes.
mechanics in general. We have some crazy stories already, and we've only been RVing for like 6 months.
You would think, and this is for another time,
Yeah.
but the dealerships would be the best people to take your vehicle to. And I'm sure the people who have already learned this lesson the hard way are laughing as they're hearing this.
Yeah. You gotta learn one way or another.
Yeah.
They're not good. Most of the time, they're not good.
You either learn from somebody else or you learn the hard way.
Yeah.
And we learned in the latter form.
So here's another way that you can prevent this. I read a story and someone had recently bought a car, and within that week they were hearing grinding noises. Turns out that eventually their wheel did fall off. So one of the things you can do is if you hear any weird noises, pull over immediately. In fact, there is a video that I found where you see a car that was pulling into a parking lot and their wheel falls off slowly and goes against the curb because they heard something and they were like, uh-oh, found the nearest parking lot and pulled over. And they potentially saved somebody's life because of that. Just taking a few minutes of your time to pull over, make sure everything is okay, do that. In fact, we were just a few weeks ago behind an RV and we seen smoke coming off of their back tire, their trailer tire. And I was like, Andrew, we need to tell them, that's not good. We literally could smell burning. So at a stoplight, Andrew yelled out there and he's like, hey, you know, your tire is smoking.
And he's like, I know.
So then we go to Aldi and we're just watching them like from the parking lot. And we're like, are they gonna pull over? No, they went through like 3 lights and didn't ever pull over.
Now, giving this person the benefit of the doubt because he knew, maybe he was on his way to go get that fixed.
So pulling over and just taking a little bit of time is worth it.
Yeah.
Might cool down the tire or whatever else is wrong with it, you can figure it out.
Also, you know, we've heard this from RVers a lot. One of the most simple ways that you can make sure that your tires are good to go for the road is just to inspect them. Go through and make sure that there's no gouges or extreme wear, and that'll save you a lot going down the road.
In fact, actually, Forest River tells you every time you go on a trip, before you do that, you need to torque your tires down to the right foot-pounds every single time, and we do that.
Yep.
You do that. Thank you.
Yep.
So make sure you do that every time. And then we have a TPMS, and I can't believe that we went that long without it, but you need to get a TPMS. If that's like the one thing you get for safety on the road, you need to be able to check your tire pressure at all times, because the majority of the time, other than like running over a nail or something, you're going to be notified that something is wrong with your tire. You need to pull over immediately and get it addressed before it blows out.
Right. All these things exist because people, for a long time, a lot of them have noticed that this is an important issue.
Yes.
That you need to make sure your tires are good to go for the road.
Right. Also, here's another thing that could have been the problem. He might have had a wheel in the back of his truck that he didn't strap down. We really don't know how it happened, but that could be another thing. So if you have anything in the back of your truck, you have to make sure to strap that down.
Now, thankfully, we were able to drive away from this situation and make it to our destination, which was a boondocker's welcome. The hosts, Tom and Lori, were just some of the nicest we've ever met, and the hospitality they showed us was unmatched. They walked us around their property and showed us some of the cool vehicles they had. They also gave us some really great tips about RVing because they had been RVing for a while themselves.
We hope that you learned something valuable from this video and that we can all go out there and put this information to good use. It's going to make the road safer and hopefully even maybe save a few lives, God willing. Our next destination was Tennessee, and we had some more problems. Our power cord was too short, therefore our battery was dying and potentially damaged the RV battery permanently. We were able to find the solution, so make sure that you look out for that video to figure out what to do when your power cord is too short, or if there's no 50 amp or 30 amp hookups, we have a couple solutions for you. RV life is
like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Make sure you subscribe because we have a lot more crazy stories, tips, and fun adventures coming your way. And you don't want to miss it. Seriously, you really don't want to miss it. I'm telling you right now. If you're interested in supporting our channel, you can make a one-time donation, or you can also become a monthly Patreon supporter and enjoy exclusive perks and really cool merchandise.